a record? Yep. Good morning, everyone. I'd like to call to order the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement Special Magistrate hearing for November 2nd, 2022. It's a little after 9 o'clock in the morning. My name is Keith Davis. I'm the Special Magistrate appointed by the city to preside over today's agenda. Please silence any cell phones so they don't interrupt our proceedings, and that will be greatly appreciated. If you will be speaking to me about any of the matters on today's agenda, I need your testimony to be sworn, so I need to place everyone under oath. Therefore, if you'll be testifying, please stand, raise your right hand, and do you each swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes, sir. Thank you. You can all have a seat. When your case is called, the city will be coming up to the podium to my left. If you're a respondent, please come up to the podium to my right. The way we'll proceed with each case is I'll hear from the city first. They'll give me testimony. There may be photographs and other evidence that is presented. You'll have an opportunity to see that on the monitors. Once the city has concluded its presentation and made any recommendations for resolving the case, I will then hear from you. You can tell me everything that you believe is relevant about the case. If you have additional documents or photographs, that would be the time to produce those. Once I've seen everything and heard from everybody on the case, in all likelihood today I will enter an order that resolves the matter. There may be some cases with city staff that we take care of first so we can get them out of here and on with their day, even if the respondents aren't present. So that is how we'll proceed. Let's go ahead and get started.
First case number 2411 Barnett Street, CE 22050292, number 2411 Barnett Street.
Morning.
Good morning. Joseph Oliva, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on 5/24/2022. Service was accomplished by certified mail and regular mail sent on 5/26/2022 and 7/13/2022. Certified mail was returned on 5/31/2022 and 8/1/2022. In addition, both the property and City Hall were posted on 5/25/2022 and 7/13/2022. There is an affidavit of posting in the case. I have been in contact with the property owner. The property owner was cited for 94-6 on permitted work. Structure was altered. As of this morning, the property has not come into compliance. Therefore, the city's asking for an additional 90 days for them to come into compliance. And if they do not come into compliance, the city's asking for $100 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer Oliva, we're reviewing photographs while you're testifying. Do the photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
Can you tell us what those alleged violations are that you observed?
Yes. The property has, as you can see in that picture right there, the 2012 picture, it had a carport attached to the structure, but then the carport ended up missing without permits. And actually, we were talking with Richard Gapright about this situation, and he has an email in there of the plans that were submitted for this, and it said the carport was supposed to stay, but it ended up disappearing right there.
So you've relied upon these emails and photographs and
Yes.
printouts?
And they're in the case too. I put them in the case.
Okay, thank you. And so basically what you're alleging is the carport itself being removed needed a permit. So they've done work without a permit.
Right. He needs to obtain a permit now for that carport. But again, permits were pulled for what was on the remodel. But the thing was, is the carport was supposed to stay, and it didn't.
So just to be very clear, what exactly is the alleged violation that needs to be cured?
But now he needs to pull a permit for the carport being removed.
Okay.
And then building has to inspect to make sure there's no, the structure is good.
Okay. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation. Excuse me. certified mailing documents, affidavit of posting, photographs, plans, email or written communications, and printouts.
All right, those documents are part of the record.
And,
Good morning, sir. Go ahead and tell
Good
me your
morning.
name and address, and then you can tell me what's going on with this case.
Yeah, sure. My name is Hawk Forrest. The address is 411 Barnett Street. The current situation is I inherited the home earlier this year after purchasing. Looking through some historical documents, it looks like maybe 2 owners ago perhaps did this work. As Joe was saying, there was some work that was done, some remodeling work, and it looks like they didn't have a demolition permit that went along with taking down that carport. So what I have been doing is just been working with contractors, structural engineers, to try to create a demolition permit for after the fact. Lately, what has been an issue is just being able to work with some of those contractors. I think either they've just been working on bigger projects or more busy this season, that they're not really appealing to trying to get this project done. So within the last month or two, I finally was able to get some drawings from a structural engineer to kind of showcase detail by detail, demolishing the carport, as well as some of the other violations that was mentioned, which is the driveway, the extended driveway as well. So I have the drawings here in case if you'd like me to show you that, or whoever is relevant that needs to be shown that. That's been the case so far.
So you literally inherited this problem.
Yeah, I literally inherited this problem.
Okay. So this was done before.
This was done in 2012, 2011 timeframe.
Okay.
Is what I see. So looking through some of the Google photos, because Google actually tracks, has snapshots of 2011, 2012, and the 2014 capture of the home, you see the difference between
Sure.
that time frame. And so this was inherited completely.
In your discussions with the professionals that you're working with, have they given you any sense of how much more time it'll take to get the demolition permit issued? And I mean, the city's suggesting 90 days is the appropriate time frame to get this done. Do you have a sense for, based on what they've told you, for that?
Yeah, good question. So not really, to be honest. It's been more on the contractors than it's been me. Actually, I'm on my 5th contractor. Previous contractors just was not responding, and for what reason, I'm not too sure. And the current contractor that I've been trying to work with hasn't been responding within the last 2 weeks. I actually just flew in from Washington State yesterday for this, and I also went to that contractor's property office address, and they were not responding then as well. So I really don't have a sense of when contractors are able to actually fulfill on this work that they need to do, specifically really just the permit piece, because we already have the drawings, which is the main work.
Okay.
It's the general contractor who needs to be able to create the permit so that we can tie these drawings together and just submit it to the city so that Richard and the team can take a look at it. So I don't really have a sense of time of how much it'll take.
Okay. Has that been submitted at this point?
No, that was kind of the next step. And what was promised, or what was mentioned to me, was to try to get it in by Monday, Tuesday, 2 weeks ago. But that same individual hasn't been responsive. So this is about like I mentioned, like the 5th contractor that I've kind of gone through. So I might have to look for another. One of my thoughts was maybe extending this even further, if it can be 180 days versus the 90, as well as I believe there's a requirement when you have a secondary residence, you can't create a permit of your own until a year later, if I remember correctly. And so I was wondering if there maybe could be an exception with that, because if that's the case, then I can get the permit created with these drawings, because I'm not too sure if there's anything more complicated with that permit paperwork other than just having these drawings laid out. So that seems like at least the heavy lifting has already been done. It's just a matter of submitting this to the city. I think that's the biggest it's like the smallest stumbling block that's happening right now, it seems.
Well, and I don't know if you're talking about owner-builder, but I don't think you can do it owner-builder since you don't live in it. If it's a rental property,
Sure.
you need a contractor. Let me ask the city, in terms of getting this out of the code enforcement arena, what are you looking for? Is it to get the demolition permit issued?
Yes,
And also the inspections and close out the permit, or what?
yes.
Okay.
And just to add, I mean, Mr. Hawk has been like really good with communications with me, so we've been in contact with each other, and he's letting me know like every step that's, he's doing and stuff like that, so I know he's working on it, so.
Okay. Under the circumstances, would the city have any objection to setting this for a status hearing in a couple of months? See if you got a contractor and get the permit issued? I don't want to start running daily fines under the circumstances if we can get.
What about if we do like a 6-month period and just have it be reheard in 6 months?
Yeah, if the city has no objection to that, I think, Mr. Hawk, that's what you had asked for as well. I have no objection to setting a 6-month compliance, talking about a compliance deadline for 6 months.
Yes.
That should be enough time, I would think, and then, all right, well, let's do that, and then the other thing I would tell you is that if you are getting close to that 180 days, and for whatever reason, and despite good faith efforts, you're not going to make it, stay in touch with the city, ask to come back before a magistrate, and, if you need more time, and I see that there's been good faith effort, and despite that, compliance just couldn't be met, I'll consider that. I've got to believe 6 months should be more than enough time, though, to get this taken care of. So I'm happy to do that. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me this morning?
I think that's everything. And I think to your point, you said that you still had to remain like a primary residence person in order to put the permits yourself.
No, I was just saying that this is not where you live, so you
Sure.
can't do it as an owner-builder.
Okay.
I believe the law requires you to be the occupant and the resident. You can't do owner-builder on a property that's being used as a rental.
Got it. Okay.
At least that's my understanding. I think that's correct.
Okay.
Okay, then anything else from the city?
No.
Okay, well, let's do this. I will find proper notice. Respondent is present, and the city has proper notice documents in the file. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I do find that the property is in violation of City Code 94-6. I'm going to allow 180 days for compliance to get that demolition permit issued and get the inspections and get that cleared off. Now, I am going to put in the order, I'm going to accept the city's recommendation for the daily fines of $100 per day after the 180 days, and that's why I say if you're getting close to that and you need more time, despite doing everything you could, ask to come back, and
Yeah.
then we'll talk about more then, but I got to believe 180 days is going to be more than enough time.
Sounds good.
All right, and you'll get a copy of that order that spells all that out, and hopefully we won't see you again.
Okay.
Thank you
Yeah.
very much.
Thank you.
Next case, number 11-801 El Prado, CE 22080121, number 11-801 El Prado.
Good morning. Sonia Bin, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. This property was cited on August 8, 2022. The notice of violation was posted at City Hall and at the property on August 8, 2022. Certified mail was sent on August 8, 2022 and received. The property was cited for exterior paint, visible trash can, hat rack of tree, unpaved parking, and outdoor storage that consists of plastic bottles, blocks, and boards, etc. Today, the property owner is present, and she also shared with me earlier that the reason why the tree was improperly pruned is due to the tree being ill. As of today, codes 18103J, 7434A 1H, 94482A, and 9471C are all complied. However, the 94446-2B3 is still out of compliance. The city is requesting for the owner to provide the city with documentation from a licensed arborist proving that the tree is ill, or a one-time fine of $150. The property owner is also in agreement with the city's recommendation.
Thank you. Officer Binns, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes,
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice was also sent by regular first-class mail?
yes,
We've been reviewing some photographs during your testimony. Do those photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations still existing at the property?
yes.
And can you just briefly testify about the hat racking that you have alleged? What did you observe?
So there's the photo, the hat rack tree is in front of the property. And that's the initial photo where there's no limbs or anything or leaf on the tree.
Thank you.
You're
Special
welcome.
Magistrate, the city would like to submit a copy of the complete file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, certified mailing documents, affidavit of posting, and photographs.
All right, those documents are a part of the record. Good morning. Go ahead and, ma'am, tell me your name and address, and then tell me about, I guess all that's left to talk about is the tree.
Hi, good morning. My name is Naivi Martinez. I need translator because my English is little. Sorry.
I have Alex here that will help her to translate.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Alex, mi esposo me está diciendo que paguemos la multa porque no sabemos bien cómo buscar ese permiso ni aquí.
We probably still need to get everything on the microphone, guys, so if you can get...
And so, what was the question again?
No, I'm saying we still need to get this all on the microphone. I can't hear
Yeah.
anything, so...
Oh, no, mi esposo me está comentando que paguemos la multa si es posible porque no sabemos cómo pedir este permiso.
She's saying her husband is telling her that she
Closer,
rather,
I'm having trouble hearing.
she's talking to her husband, and her husband is telling her that they rather pay the fine instead of doing anything else. Like they're okay paying the fine the city's asking.
Just so that I'm clear, she would rather pay the $150 and be done with it than get an arborist to submit a letter. Is that my understanding?
That's what she's telling me. Yeah.
All right.
Yes, that's what she's telling me. Yes.
All right. And that was,
I'm okay with the one-time fine. I just wanted to, give her the opportunity, if, to prove that if it was ill, the 60 days. So I'm okay with whatever she's
Okay.
comfortable with.
is there anything else, ma'am, that you'd like to tell me?
¿Tienes algo más que decirle?
No, muchas gracias. No.
She says no, thank you. That's
Okay,
she's
well, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm still going to, and that you can explain this to her, I'm still gonna put in the order that I'm gonna give the option. So, I do find that the city has proper notice. I do find that the property remains in violation of City Code 7434A18, sorry, wrong code section. Property remains in violation of City Code 94446-2B3 regarding the tree hat racking, but has complied with everything else that was in the notice. So go ahead and tell her that. Go ahead and,
Dice que va a escribirlo todo. De todas maneras tienen la opción. Si la otra semana quieren hacerlo, lo pueden hacer. Pero si quieren pagar la multa, está bien. Entonces,
Okay, okay, sir. Okay.
okay, the order's gonna give you the choice. You can either pay a one-time fine of $150 or submit a letter from an arborist that explains the diseased condition of the tree, and I'll give you 60 days to do either of those.
no están obligados a buscar otro.
So it's your choice. You can do either one. Okay?
Okay.
Do you have any questions?
No, no, thanks.
Okay. All right. You'll get a copy of that order. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next case, number 321707, Village Boulevard, 205 CE 22080446, number 32.
You said agenda item 32?
Yes, this gentleman's here for 32 and 33.
Oh, okay.
Good morning. Can we do both of them together?
Number 33, 1743 Village Boulevard, 208 CE 22080447.
Good morning, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. 17017 Village Boulevard, Unit 205, and 1743 Village Boulevard, Unit 208 were both cited for failure to obtain a rental license. Service was accomplished by certified mail on the both properties and signed for on 9/1/2022. The properties and City Hall were also posted on 9/22/2022. These two properties failed inspection on Monday because both of them are missing several screens in the windows. There is an active application in the system, and the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Levine, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the 1707 Village Boulevard 205?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there an affidavit of posting in the 1743 Village Boulevard 208?
Yes, ma'am.
Do both of those affidavits reflect that the notices of violation in each case was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
And with respect to, you said there's applications existing on both cases, is that accurate?
Yes, ma'am.
And so there's communication, some written communication as well, I think you referenced. Is that in both cases as well?
No, there's no written communication. We did the inspection on Monday, and both properties failed. The respondent was present when we did the inspection, and
Okay,
he's aware that the screens are missing.
okay, very good. And are there photos of the posting at the property?
Yes.
Okay, and those photos truthfully and accurately depict the posting done at the two properties in specific question,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the complete file, including notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, as well as the rental applications and any other written communication which exists.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record for both case numbers. Good morning, sir. Go ahead and tell me your name and address and how you're affiliated with the LLC, and then you can tell me about the case.
Sure. So my name is Jeffrey Galt. I'm the managing member of the entity San Matera 4 LLC.
Yes, sir.
Which owns both those particular units. I honestly just moved down from New York to Florida recently and bought these units. Was honestly unaware of the rental license situation, which again, I shouldn't have been, but I was. But I have obviously done my, I did obviously pay for the rental licenses, did meet the inspector, and obviously I'm, will be complying with the screens on the windows.
Okay, did I, Mr. Levine, did I hear there's just some missing window screens on both units, and
Yes,
that's
sir.
the only thing holding up the issuance?
Yes, sir. Yes.
All right. How long do you think you're going to need to get those window screens taken care of?
It's, I assume, a couple of weeks, most, maybe 30 days, depending on whether they're screens that need to be, I'm looking for the right word,
Okay.
if they're not standard size, if they have to be made.
Sure.
But assuming they're standard size, they'll go on immediately.
All right, and tell me what the city's recommendation was again.
30 days or $200 a day.
30 and 200?
Yes, sir.
All right. I have no problem giving you the 30 days.
I'm fine with that.
Okay. Is there anything else you'd like to tell me, sir? Anything
No,
else from the
all's
city?
good.
Okay. I do find proper notice in both cases. Respondent is present. Based on the testimony and evidence, I will find that both properties remain in violation of City Code 2232A and 22441. That's the correct code section now, right? Ms. Francono? That's the right code section now? 22?
Sir, I apologize.
That's okay.
I was doing something administrative. Were you asking me about 22441?
Yeah, isn't 22441, isn't that the code section that changed recently? I just want to
Correct.
make sure that's the right one.
Correct,
Okay.
yes. I apologize.
We'll do 30 days for compliance on both cases. After that, daily fines of $200 per day will be assessed until compliance is achieved on both cases, so you want to make sure you get those taken
Right.
care of, okay? Thank you very much.
Okay.
Sir,
thank
here's
you.
a copy of your orders. Sir? That's all we have for contested matters. Next case number 11741 Palm Beach Lakes Boulevard, CE 22090289.
Good morning. Don Williams, Code Enforcement, City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on September 26th of 22. Certified mail was received September 30th of 22. The property was posted in City Hall at October 21st of 22. This business is a Fitness Hub Boutique. They are operating it and have not applied for any business tax license for the city. So I cited them for 2232A, certificate of use, and 82144, which is for the business tax itself. My recommendation is 30 days to do that, or $200 a day after that.
What was the, I'm on,
200, 30 days.
I heard the
200.
200. What was the, is it 30 days?
Yes, 30 days, 200. Mhm.
All right, and we have no respondents left in the room for the record. In this case, the city had, oh, I'm sorry, Ms. Franconero, go ahead.
Thank
Didn't mean to
you.
cut you off.
Officer Williams, just very quickly, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes,
And does that affidavit reflect that this notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
yes,
The photograph in the file that we reviewed, does that truthfully and accurately depict the posting at the property of this particular property?
yes.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit a copy of the entire case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photograph.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. Now, the city has proper notice in this case, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and the evidence, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 3 is complied, 837 29th Street, CE 22090243. Number 4, 623 46th Street, CE 2210093.
Good morning, John Frosco, West Palm Beach
Morning.
Code, here for Sandy Mills. This property was cited for an unsanitary, unsecure property, overgrowth, debris, hurricane hazardous, and boarding certificate required, and landscape maintenance. I inspected the property initially with Sandy Mills, so I have firsthand knowledge of the condition of this property. It's pretty bad. Both units are unsecure and open. We were there with the police department, and we removed about 7 vagrants from the property. The units were pretty bad, unsanitary. The smell was horrendous. The city's requesting that we, within 10 days, board and secure the property, cut and clean, and remove the hurricane hazardous tree that's in the rear of the property. And for the boarding certificate, the city is requesting to obtain that boarding certificate within 10 days or a $250 a day fine run on the property.
Thank you. Officer Frasca, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, there is.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was sent by certified mail?
Yes, it does.
Is there any indication of the status of that certified mailing?
No,
If you know, okay. And does the affidavit reflect that the notice was sent by regular first-class mail?
yes, it was.
Was the notice of violation posted at the property?
Yes, it was.
Was it posted at the city hall?
Yes, it was.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
With respect to the alleged violations that are listed in this agenda, are any of them, in your estimation, complied, or are they all outstanding?
No, they're not. However, we did have sanitation go out there this morning and remove the sanitation bins from the property, which, you know, partially complied it a little bit. So the city's got a little bit of movement on the property so far.
But does each alleged violation,
They all
even though there's
exist.
progress, are they all still outstanding?
Yes, they're all outstanding.
With respect to the board and secure, cut and clean, and remove any other hurricane hazards, you were in essence asking for an abatement, is that accurate?
That is accurate.
Do you believe that the condition of the property as it stands is an attractive nuisance?
It very much is so.
And it's attractive to either additional vagrants or children, presents a dangerous condition,
It absolutely does.
and is it attractive to other pests or vermin which could, bring disease and other unwanted detritus?
Thank you, that is correct.
Okay. And with respect, just could you tell us in a little bit more detail, the landscaping? I think you had said.
It's mostly, right, it's mostly all weeds, but you can see in the
Okay.
maintenance part of it, they're dead, bare spots. You know, that in itself, the sand and that creates the unsanitary conditions and the excessive amount of weeds that are on the property.
Okay, and the garbage cans are visible in the photos. Is that still accurate?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's the garbage cans are an alleged violation because they're visible as in the photographs. That still exists?
They were not cited in the notice of violation, but there is no service, so the city remedied that, even though they were filled with trash and debris. So we remedied that problem.
Okay.
So they would still fall under the unsanitary conditions, but we remedied that problem.
Okay. So there is a garbage can placement alleged violation here?
No.
Thank you.
No,
So that one's gone?
It's gone.
All right. Everything else still outstanding?
All the violations are outstanding except if the,
Okay,
yes,
that's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Except for.
she got that.
For which?
Except for the view
Garbage
of
can.
the garbage cans.
Oh.
Okay,
I-
very good. Excellent. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit a copy of the entire case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any other documents relied upon.
Okay, those documents are all made part of the record. Having reviewed the photographs and listened to the testimony, I do find the property remains in violation as cited. Are you looking to abate
Yes, sir.
everything but the boarding certificate?
Right, the boarding certificate is required by the owner, not just because you're being, putting on the city on notice that you're boarding it, but it comes with caveats and requirement, benchmarks that you have to meet to make that property whole and habitable within 5 months, or submit a plan to the city that would
Yeah.
be acceptable. So it has a greater of an impact just to say, okay, so the boarding certificate it almost works like a contract between the city and
Yeah.
the owner of the property.
Okay, so what I'm thinking I can do here is allow 10 days for compliance. After that, the city's authorized to enter the property, abate the violations, and assess the costs. I guess for 7434A1J, we're saying that that's complied, the garbage can
Yes, sir.
placement. And then for the boarding certificate, that's 18265. After the 10 days, we'll run daily fines of $250 a day, and if they get the boarding certificate, then that'll take care of that documentation. So that would be, is there any objection to doing it that way from the city? Respondent is not present. I do find proper notice. I will enter that order.
And this will allow us to, if we don't get any compliance, to possibly make this a chronic nuisance, so.
And Special Magistrate, I apologize, I may have missed it. You did find a health, safety, welfare violation for the record, correct?
If I didn't say so, yes.
I'm
Very
not sure.
clearly, the testimony and the evidence shows this to be a threat to the public health, safety, and welfare in its current condition.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Number 5, 720 South Dixie Highway, CE 22090244.
Morning, Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach.
Morning.
Property 720 South Dixie was initially cited on 9/22/22. Certified mail was sent on 9/26/22. We do have a signed certified mail receipt on file. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on 9/27/22. Property is cited for 94482A parking requirements, 18106M landscaping maintenance, and 94442-C-1 landscaping areas must be grass. Have not had any contact with the property owners beyond the fact that we do have the signed certified mail receipt on file. This has been somewhat of an ongoing issue of them allowing people to park illegally onto what's pretty much equivalent to a vacant lot, which just should be sodded, and it also serves as a dual purpose, as also like a doggy park as well. And so, as I said, this has been going on for multiple months. We've gotten multiple complaints from the residences, also from people who work for the city as well, more specifically PD, because they've been having problems with people also parking on the sidewalk as an overflow to people parking on the grass there. And so what the city's requesting is 30 days additional in order to sod the bare areas, also for the irrigation, and cease and desist all parking. The city is requesting 30 days in order for all that to happen, or a fine of $100 per day be imposed.
Thank you, Officer Williams. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes,
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
yes, it does.
The photographs that we've been reviewing during your testimony, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
Thank you. Is 30 days a reasonable amount of time to bring this into compliance in your estimation?
In my estimation, it is, as I said, they were initially cited back on 9/22. And so in my estimation, it is, they've made no effort to make contact with the city to give any indication that that they were going to move forward or anything.
And have you observed cars there on multiple occasions parking?
Yes, I have.
And in your last inspection, are there still cars parking?
Yes. My last inspection was, in fact, on 10/31, and I did note it, several vehicles there, same conditions as it relates to the landscaping, just huge areas bare and or dead.
And with respect to the October 31st reinspection, that date is after the date in the notice of violation that said comply by XYZ date,
Yes, it
or
is.
else there's going to be a hearing. So 10/31 is after that date, correct?
Yes, it is.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are all made part of the record. With the received certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Next case, number 6, 1205 Worthington Street, CE 221000413.
Michael Williams, Code Enforcement Officer, City of West Palm Beach. Property 1205 Worthington Street was initially cited on 10/27/22. Certified mail was sent on 10/28/22. The certified mail was returned Property as well as City Hall was posted on 10/27/22. Property was cited for 18106E, extermination of bees, and 74-85-A, abatement of violation. With regard to this particular property, it actually went to a hearing on 9/21. It was cited for multiple violations that included abating the bees. There was some additional violations with regard to a tree stump, grass and weeds being high, and removal of outdoor storage, which they did not comply, and so daily fines are running with respect to that particular case. We've had received some complaints from, let's see, it was 2013 Wilkins, which is one of the adjacent properties, and they indicated that the bees are coming onto their properties when they turn like the lights on at night. Those lights are attracting the bees, and they actually submitted that particular video, which shows the bees coming onto their property, and so it does present as a health safety issue with regard to the neighboring properties. There's also 3 videos showing, well, from 1205 Worthington, showing that the bees are still at the property and that they're still migrating there. I think there was some effort made by the property owner to remove the bees, but if you don't really know what you're doing and you leave some of the residue and so forth there, and if you don't clean those areas correctly, those bees just come right back, and so that's what has happened, I believe. I did note that there was some area to remove, some effort rather, to remove them, but they didn't do a good enough job, and those bees are still there. So again, it does present as a health safety issue. So what the city is requesting is in order to abate the bees and of course impose the fines, or the cost rather, to the owner of the property.
Thank you. Officer Williams, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, there is.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
And the videos, were any of those taken by you, or did you receive some of them from?
Actually, all of the pictures were taken by me. 3 of the videos with regard to 1205 Worthington, I actually took those 3 videos, but there was one video that was submitted by 2013 Wilkins. That's the video that they provided to me as the violation did occur on their property.
And did you find that those videos submitted were consistent with what you've observed at the property at the same time?
Are clearly consistent.
Mr. Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs and videos, and any written correspondence.
All right, those documents are all made part of the record. With the posting following the return to certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find property remains in violation as cited. I find that violation clearly constitutes threat to public health, safety, and welfare. I do authorize, I guess you're suggesting 48 hours.
That was what was included in the notice. They were given 48 hours in order to comply.
You have no contact with anybody?
No. In fact, the neighbors to the east and west of them have some relationship with the owner of 1205 Worthington, and they indicated that they made some attempt to speak to her, but they didn't think that her English was all that great, and so they weren't really clear as to whether she fully understands.
All right, under the circumstances, unless Ms. Francanero thinks this is inappropriate, I'm prepared to authorize the city to enter the property immediately and abate the B violation. I don't think I need to give compliance time. I think that's just a waste of time, given under the circumstances that you've put on the record.
Correct, I agree. I
Okay.
believe that there's an
So he's
emergency
authorized me
situation
to,
here.
Immediately abate and assess the
Okay.
costs.
All right, thank you.
Number 7, 5409 North Flagler Drive, CE 22080368.
City of West Beach Code Compliance Officer Robert Watkins. This property was signed August 22nd. Certified mail was sent August 22nd. City Hall was posted September 26th. September 28th. Certified mail was returned on September 26th. This property was cited for address characters, sodding, landscape of the yard, and garbage can placement. Compliant violations were address characters. Remaining violations are sodding of the yard and garbage can placement. I haven't had any correspondence with the homeowner. They have had a few guys out there. I spoke to them, but they were just, I guess, the workers. So the city is requesting at this point 30 days and or $100 per day after for having sod placed at least 70% of the front yard.
Thank you, Officer Watkins. Does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes,
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
yes it does.
Does that affidavit also reflect that the notice of violation was posted at the property?
Yes it does.
And, the photographs in the file, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
For the remaining violations, for the remaining alleged violations that you observed, would you please tell us a little bit about what you did observe?
They took up all the grass that they had, whether it was dying or still there, and they just placed rocks everywhere. I actually spoke, like I said, I spoke to the workers in the process before they even laid the rocks down to see which way they were going, if they were going to have like islands of rocks or any kind of, they just took up all the grass and put down rocks.
And is the garbage can still visible to the public?
As of yesterday afternoon, it was, yes.
Okay, and you've seen that multiple times or just,
No, it's always there by
Okay.
the front door.
thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are all made part of the record. City has proper notice in this case, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, with the exception of City Code 78-6 regarding numbering standards, which has complied. I'll accept the city's recommendation, allow 30 days to cure the remaining violations, and after that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 8, 718 59th Street, CE 22090290.
City of West Beach Code Compliance Officer Robert Watkins. This property was cited September 26th. Certified mail was sent September 28th, and certified mail was returned on October 2nd. City Hall was posted October 17th. This property was cited for a repeat violation of excessive growth, overgrowth, and excessive growth of the property. Compliant violations, all of them, as of September 23rd. So at this point, the repeat was for case CE 200-80118, which was excessive growth, 18-106B. The property was out of compliance for 25 days, and at this point, the city is requesting, the property was out of compliance for 10 days, and the city is requesting $25 per day of out of compliance, which is a total of $250.
Thank you. Officer Watkins, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes,
Does an affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
yes it does.
And was the notice of violation posted at the property?
Yes it was.
With respect to the underlying case of CE 200-80118, the notice of violation on that underlying case is the 18, was that a violation of 18106B?
Yes,
That is
that
the
was
same
cited.
one as today?
Yep, it was cited on August 11th, 2021, and it came into compliance on September 23rd, 2021.
So was there just a finding of fact, or was
On
there?
that one, there was a finding of fact.
Okay. And what date was that order? Do you have, if you have it?
No, I don't have it with me. It's actually in the repeat folder. That's the second one on where she just was at. No, go back to where you were, and there's a folder labeled repeat. It'll be in there.
Oh, yeah, that one. Yeah, if you can go down. Just scroll down, please. Is this the order that you're?
No, it's not. It's
speaking of?
in a different folder if you go back.
Oh.
See at the where it says repeat? Yep, that one right there. Yep.
Okay, it would be that one. Okay. Thank you. And Officer Watkins, again, what was the first date that you observed the current alleged violation?
The 26th of September.
I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you.
The 26th of September.
And then you're saying that that was observed for 10 days?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation in the current case, as well as the case file for this current case, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and the underlying case notice of violation and order.
All right, those documents are all made part of the record with the posting following the return of certified mail. The city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find property remains in violation. As cited, I find the violation of City Code 18106B is a repeat violation. I didn't catch the case number, but the order finding violation, it was a 2021 case, is in the record. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find that the property was in repeat violation for 10 days. I'll assess daily fines of $25 a day for each of those 10 days for the fine of $250. What are we doing with 74-4C3? That was not a repeat?
No, that wasn't a.
So what's your?
That one's they took care of it.
Oh, but that there's no violation of that?
No.
Okay. Then I will not find a violation of 74-4C3. Okay, thank you.
Next case, number 9, 532 27th Street, CE 2208035.
Good morning, Alex Oliver, Code Enforcement Officer for City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on September 22nd. Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on September 23rd. Both property and City Hall were posted on September 26th. This property was cited for address characters in the back alleyway. Basically, that's all I saw at the beginning of September. And I did have contact with the owner. He called and he said that he was out of the country and he was gonna put the numbers in, but he never did. And as of yesterday, there's still no numbers on the address. I mean, on the back alleyway. And so the city is requesting either 60 days for the owner to call back and install the numbers, or $25 a day.
60 days, you said?
Yeah, 60 days or $25 a day.
Got it.
Yeah.
Thank you, Officer Oliver. Is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. I will find proper notice even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 60 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $25 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 10, 615 30th Street, CE 220800419.
Good morning, Alex Oliver, Code Enforcement Officer for the City of West Palm Beach. This property was cited on September 22nd. Service was accomplished by certified mail sent on September 23rd. Certified mail was received on September 29th, and both property and City Hall were posted on September 26th. This property was cited for back alleyway 74-4C5, which is alleyway maintenance. There was no address character, so it was cited for 78-6, 94-302A3 for no permit without a fence without a permit, and 94-4A2A approved sod and approved plant material. So as of this morning, the property has not come into compliance, but the owner did call, and I've been in contact with the owner. He was supposed to come in today, but he no-showed. As of yesterday, I spoke with him. He said he was waiting for the survey people to come in and do the survey so he can continue with the permit for the fence. He said he's still working on the address characters and sod. So I spoke to him, and he asked for 60 days, which I agreed for 60 days or $100 a day after that.
Thank you. Officer Oliver, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes.
And does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
With respect to cleaning up to the center of the right-of-way, can you just describe what it is you observed?
It was just messy, I guess, because of when he installed the fence, it was just messy and it didn't look right. So it just looked dirty, yeah, because of the debris and dirt.
And that's still outstanding?
Yeah.
So that was
I mean, it's a lot better, but I mean, it's still, I mean, as of yesterday, I mean, it still looks just like, yeah. That's September? Yeah, it basically looks the same. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, as of yesterday.
And with the numbering standards, is that address characters that have to be at the back or the front?
Yeah, in the back. I mean, in the front he has it. It's just the back needs to have it.
Okay. And is it, obviously we're reviewing photographs of a wooden fence. Is it that fence that you're talking about that needs a permit?
Yes, yeah,
Okay.
that's a brand new fence.
Okay, very good. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and the inspection report.
All right, those documents are all made part of the record. Respondent is not present, but the city has proper notice with the received certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, accept the city's recommendation, and allow 60 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 12, 818 Avenida Hermosa, CE 220900044.
Good morning, Sonny Ben, City of West Palm Beach, Code Enforcement. This property was cited on September 6, 2022. Notice of violation was posted at City Hall and at property on September 7th, 2022. Certified mail was sent on September 7th and was returned. The property was cited for codes, outdoor storage. In the photo, you will see a pallet, black plastic bag, as well as exterior paint of structure and overgrowth of landscape. I have made contact with property owner by the name of Stephanie. which she's in agreement with the city recommendation. As of today, Code 9471C is complied. However, codes 18106G and 18106K are still out of compliance. The city is requesting an additional 60 days to gain compliance, or $100 per day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Officer Binns, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes.
With respect to the outstanding alleged violation regarding the paint, could you just describe a little bit more about that and about the landscape maintenance that you believe leads to a violation?
Yes. So the entire landscape front, side, and rear is overgrown. They made some improvement, however, but it's still need to be properly cut. The exterior of the property has a lot of mildew, stripping of paint. That's visible to the front of the property.
Okay, thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record with certified mail and posting. The city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Allow 60 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 13 is complied, 851 Francis Street, CE 22090258. Number 14 is complied, Flagler Promenade South, CE 221000152. Number 15, 344 Pilgrim Road, CE 221000154.
Good morning. City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement, Richard Pazmino. This property was cited October 13th, 2022. Certified mail was sent out October 14th. And the notice of violation, notice of hearing was posted on October 14th at the property in City Hall. In addition, the notice of violation, notice of hearing was sent via first-class mail. This property was cited for clean and sanitary conditions. There's trash and debris on the property, and the sidewalks need pressure washing. Excessive growth of hedges. The hedges hanging into the right-of-way, and outdoor storage. I've had no contact. As of yesterday, all violations still exist. It's a rental property. There's an older case that I had last year. They applied for the rental. They never got the inspection, so they're running fines for that. It's a rental property that isn't being taken care of. The city's recommending 14 additional days to comply with these violations. If not, we're asking for a $100 a day fine.
Thank you. Officer Pazmino, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, there is.
And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, they do.
You described what you observed in regards to trash and debris and proper pressure washing of the sidewalk, and you talked about the overgrowth of the hedges into the right-of-way. With respect to the outdoor storage, can you tell us what we're seeing in the photographs?
Yes, it's more in the front, like the doorstep. The tenants are just storing stuff right on the porch that's visible from the street.
Okay, and that still is outstanding?
Yes, they cleaned it up a bit, but it's still outside storage there.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit a copy of as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are all made part of the record. I will find proper notice with the posting and the certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and evidence, we'll find the property remains in violation as cited. I will allow 14 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 16 is complied, 515 Pilgrim Road, CE 221000165. Number 17, 919 Upland Road, CE 22090246.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 919 Upland Road was originally cited September 22nd, 2022. The regular and certified mail was sent out September 23rd, 2022. That was received September 26th, 2022. The property as well as City Hall was posted on October 13th, 2022, and an affidavit of posting was prepared and placed in the case file. I've had contact with the owner of the property who informed me that he purchased the property as is. He was originally cited for 18103B for repair of the roof, walls, and foundation of the property. 18265 for a boarding certificate needed for the boards on various windows and doors there. 7434A1J for garbage can placement, garbage can being in view of the public. 9471-C for outdoor storage, various items placed under the carport stored in the view of the public, as well as FBC 1001.1 for requirements for egress for various windows and doors being boarded up. The owner did notify me that he is planning to demo the property to do a rebuild. He has applied for that demo permit, just waiting for that to be approved. So the city is requesting 60 days to bring the property into compliance, or $150 a day fine thereafter.
You say 60 days and $50 a day?
$150 a day.
$150,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you.
Thank you. Officer Williams, in your affidavit of posting, does that reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Repeat that one more time, I'm sorry.
Sure. The affidavit of posting, does it reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the photographs that we've been reviewing, do those photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
I had a little bit hard time hearing you with respect to the boarding certificate. Is that still outstanding?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. But, and I'm sorry, it was hard to hear you on this one.
No, you're fine.
Is everything still outstanding, or is anything complied at this point?
Everything, as of yesterday, everything is still outstanding.
Oh, very good. Thank you.
Okay.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and the rest of the case file and documents relied upon.
Those documents are part of the record. City has proper notice with the certified mail and posting, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and the evidence, to find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 60 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $150 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 18732 Flamingo Drive, CE 22090262.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 732 Flamingo Drive was originally cited September 23rd, 2022. Regular and certified mail was sent out September 26th, 2022. That was received on October 4th, 2022. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on October 13th, 2022, and an affidavit of posting was prepared and placed in the case file. I've had contact with the owner, who is working to repair or comply with the violations. They were cited for 94-442C-1 for sod needed in the front yard. She did make the statement that the irrigation on the property is being replaced or repaired, rather, excuse me. And she's just requesting 15 days to bring the property into compliance. City has no objection to that. So city requests 15 days to bring the property into compliance, or a $50 a day fine thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Williams, the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. With the posting and the certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation of City Code 94-442C1. I'll allow 15 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $50 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 19, 2317 Parker Avenue, CE 22090263.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 2317 Parker Avenue was originally cited September 23rd, 2022. Regular and certified mail was sent out September 26, 2022. That was returned October 3rd, 2022. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on October 13th, 2022. And an affidavit of posting was prepared and placed in the case file. To date, I've had no contact with the owner. They were originally cited for 18106B for excessive growth of the yard there, 18103B for repair of the roof, walls, and foundation of the property, 18265 for a boarding certificate needed for different boards that are on various windows, and FBC 1001.1 for requirements for egress. City, as of yesterday, all violations are still present. City requests a split order for 18106B for the excessive growth, 5 days to comply that, or an abatement, and for the rest of the violations, 60 days to bring that into compliance, or a $100 a day fine thereafter.
How much time are you asking for before abatement?
5 days.
Thank you.
Thank you. Officer Williams, the photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've viewed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And with respect to the excessive growth and the repair of roof and the boarding certificate, could you please describe a little bit more about what you observed?
So as you can see there in the pictures, the grass is way overgrown. As of yesterday, it's way even taller than that, as you see in the pictures. As far as the 18103B for the repair of roof, walls, foundation, there's several loose boards that are broken, cracked, that need repair, and there's about 2 or 3 windows that have the plywood over them. There was a car parked at the property, so I'm not sure if someone's living there or not, but that would obviously prevent the safe egress on the property. So,
thank you. With respect to the excessive growth, the photographs appear to reflect that this growth is throughout the entire property. Do you believe that this growth is an attractive nuisance to pests and other things that could bring with it disease and other detritus?
yes, ma'am.
And do you believe that the condition of the overgrowth rises to the level of a health, safety, and welfare violation?
Yes, ma'am.
And okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and any other part of the claim case file.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. With the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I find the violation of 18106B regarding excessive growth constitutes threat to the public health, safety, and welfare. For that violation, I will allow 5 days for compliance. After that, the city is authorized to enter the property, abate the violation, and assess the cost. For the other violations, allow 60 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 2805 Belvedere Road, CE 22090388.
Officer Williams, City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement. The property at 805 Belvedere Road was originally cited on September 30th, 2022. The regular and certified mail was sent out October 3rd, 2022. That was returned October 14th, 2022. The property was hand-delivered. The notice of violation and a copy of it was posted at the City Hall on October 13th, 2022. I've had no contact with the owner, just the young lady that was present, the worker there when the hand delivery was made. They were cited for 2232A for a certificate of use required, 78-6 for numbering standards. No address characters are posted on the
50 or 150?
50. 50. Yes, sir.
Thank you, Officer Williams. I missed it. There's an executed affidavit of posting in the file.
Yes, affidavit of posting was prepared and placed in the case file.
Thank you. The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violation that's still outstanding that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And just for the record, what business are we talking about?
It's Vapes and Smoke Shop, I believe is the name of it.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are all part of the record. The city has proper notice in this case, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property is now in compliance with the code sections that were cited, with the exception of City Code 78-6 regarding numbering standards, which remains in violation. I will allow 10 additional days for that violation to be complied. After that, daily fines of $50 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 21, 801 Division Avenue, CE 2209011.
Good morning, Officer
Morning.
Luster, West Palm Code. This property's cert mail was returned to us on 9/26/2022. City Hall and property was posted on 18/2022. I have spoke with the owner of the property on 10/31/2022 to set up the inspection for the rental license and certificate of use, and that appointment is set for 11/9/2022. Property was cited for excessive growth, landscape maintenance, certificate of use, rental license, garbage can placement, hurricane hazard, overgrowth, trimming of trees in right-of-way, obstruction of right-of-way, and landscaping of swelled and/or parkway. What has come into compliance is excessive growth, which is 18106B, 18106K, landscape maintenance, garbage can placement, and overgrowth. All other violations are outstanding, and I'm asking for 30 days or $100 per day.
Thank you. Officer Luster, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And in your communication with
Property owner.
the property owner, did the property owner
He understood. He indicated that he was going to bring everything else into compliance.
well, I just want to make sure, I know that the inspection is set up, but I want to make sure that did he have any conversation that any part of this is not rented or is not a part of the rental?
No.
Okay.
It's a single family.
Okay. And for the remaining alleged violations, could you just describe what it is you've observed?
Okay. Of course, in regards to the rental license, you already got that. It's a large tree. This property sits on the corner of Division and 7th Street. So that means that the west side of the property is actually the backyard to the 7th Street property. There's a large tree that overhangs the neighbor's roof. So he understands he has to cut that back, trim it back. The vegetation that's on the public right-of-way is in the swell area, which is that palm tree and other trees that's going west of on 7th Street. And those items need to be trimmed back and just get out of the public right-of-way. The landscaping, he has the understanding that he needs to sod the swell parkway, which is that portion right between the sidewalk and the road. And what else?
Is there any other landscaping besides that particular area?
Not for grassing, it isn't.
Okay. Very good.
They mowed all the overgrowth, and she had some different plantings in pots. And I told the owner that that wasn't a problem, but she removed them anyway.
Okay.
So
Thank
that
you.
was it.
The Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are part of the file, or those documents in the city's file are part of the record. Based on the posting and the return certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though a respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find that the property remains in violation as cited, with the exception of City Code sections 18106B, 18106K, 7434A1J, and 744C3. For the remaining violations, I'll allow 30 additional days to comply. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 22 is complied, 618 6th Street, CE 2209031. Number 23, 1306 8th Street, CE 2209048.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. Certified mail was returned to us on 9/25/2022. City Hall and property was posted on 10/19/2022. I have spoke and met with the owner on site on 10/25/2022, and the property was cited for landscape maintenance, cleaning up one half of easement alleyway, obstruction of right-of-way, and that was dirt that was pouring off of the non-landscape side. Landscaping of all open spaces, landscaping of swell and parkway, and unpaved parking. What has come into compliance is landscape maintenance, 18106K portion, and 442E landscaping of swell and parkway. The owner is going to add additional driveway to the section that he's constantly parking on, which is where that police cruiser is right there. And he's not wanting to sod that area because he wants to pour the driveway. So he asked for 60 more days to come into compliance for us getting his permits and getting everything he needs to do that.
60?
60.
Okay.
And I'm asking for $100 per day after if I have not come into compliance. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Officer Lester, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
With respect to the parking, are you still observing that vehicles are parking where they shouldn't be?
Absolutely. It was yesterday that I took, what was yesterday? November 1?
Okay.
And the police cruiser was parked where it's parked all the way down by the carport. And he told me he was going to continue to park there until he got the driveway installed.
Okay.
So,
and just so that the record is clear, with the alleged violation that previously existed at 18106K landscape maintenance that you indicate is no longer outstanding.
yeah. He installed brand new sod, but he was allowing it to just die. So I cited him for landscape maintenance. And since then, he's been, by the grace of the good Lord, been raining, so he started to maintain it. And that's why I brought that into compliance.
Okay. And that is totally different from the obstruction of right-of-way, clean up to the center of the right-of-way.
Okay, that's the easement, which is behind the property, which is on the opposite side of his fencing. And every property owner is required to maintain easements, alley, halfway. And that was one of the reasons why I met him on site, to explain to him exactly what his easement consisted of. And for as the cleaning up for as the right-of-way, where he parks, there's no sod. So all of the dirt is washing down on top of the sidewalk. So that makes the sidewalk a little hazardous. So he promised to try and keep the dirt off of it until he got the driveway installed.
Okay, thank you. And then the 94-442C1 is still allegedly outstanding because he's not going to do it because he wants to get the driveway.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you. Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Those documents are made part of the record. City has proper notice in this case with certified mail and posting, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation as cited, with the exception of City Code 18106K, which has complied, and 94-442E, which has complied. The other violations remain outstanding, and I will allow 60 additional days to cure those. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 24, 820 South Mangonia Circle, CE 22090-154.
Officer Lester, West Palm Code. Cert mail was received and signed for on 9/21/2022. City Hall and property was posted on 10/18/2022. I've had no contact with owner or tenant, and the property was cited for excessive growth, landscape maintenance, trash cans in view of public, overgrowth, trimming of obstruction of right-of-way, hedge at sidewalk, cleaning and trimming of right-of-way in the rear of the property, easement, obstruction of right-of-way, fence repair, landscaping all open spaces, landscape of swell and parkway, unpaved parking, and resurfacing of driveway. I've had no contact with this owner, and I'm asking for 30 days or $100 per day. This is a persistent, constant, everyday occurrence. That's why I'm asking.
Thank you. Officer Lester, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And does that reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do those photographs truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
And could you just go through and tell us a little bit more about each of the alleged violations?
Okay. Excessive growth. Property is always continuously out of compliance for its growth. The landscape maintenance, there technically is none. Cans in public view. The cans are either on the road or right up against the fence at the side of the property. The overgrowth is a constant on this property. Obstruction for is the hanging in the right-of-way. The hedge out front was almost extending up past the sidewalk at one point. The neighbor happened to cut one side so he could back out of his driveway, but the entire hedge has not been maintained. Cleaning up one half of easement, repairing the fence, which is on that'll be the north side of the property, the landscaping of all open spaces, and landscaping of swell and parkway. The unpaved parking is just a regular everyday thing, and surfacing of the driveway has not been done.
And the fence is the chain link fence?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
You can see it, the chain link fence on that side, but the part that's in disrepair is on the opposite side of the house, which is a picture of it.
Okay, there, very good, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. With the signed certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 25, 1341 6th Street, CE 220900175.
Officer Lester, West Palm Code. Cert mail was returned to us on 9/25/2022. Property was posted at City Hall on 10/18/2022. I have spoke with the owner of the property and the family member that resides at the property. The property was cited for trash and litter and debris, inoperable vehicle, junk vehicle, trash can in public view, trimming of palm trees in public right-of-way, which is the Swell and Parkway, numbering standards, landscaping open space, unpaved parking, and outdoor storage. What has complied on the property is the trash can in public view and the inoperable vehicles and trash and debris. All other violations are outstanding.
What was the last one you said, the third one?
Trash and debris.
I got that one. I got inoperative vehicle, trash can in public view. Is there any more?
Trash can, inoperable vehicle, and trash and debris.
Oh, okay. Thanks.
You're good. What else did I think? Threw me there. The outstanding are landscaping of all open spaces, the address characters, and the unpaved parking, and some outdoor storage is not compliant. All other violations are in compliance. I'm asking for 30 more days or $100 per day. I have spoke with the owner. He's clearly understands what he has to do. And I spoke with the family member that resides there. And she informed me that grass was high. And could we give him more time to actually, it's about a pallet or so that's needed for the yard. A pallet of grass, which is quite a bit. And she asked for the 30 more days or the $100 per day to bring it into compliance.
How many days?
30.
30?
Yes, sir.
Got it.
Thank you. Officer Lester, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed at the property?
Yes, ma'am.
For the remaining violations that you talked about, the 34102A junk and abandoned vehicle, is that something different than the 34102C inoperative vehicle that you said is resolved?
That's resolved for the simple fact when it's a junk vehicle can be on the property as long as it's in an enclosed area. So they just removed the vehicles, period. So that's what complied that.
Oh, so that's complied?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And with respect to, I think you indicated that there's vegetation hanging into the public right away.
Yeah, you have large palm trees that are on the swell, and some of the palm fronds. Actually, you have to go around them in order for them not to hit your vehicle. So that's what I'm referring to as far as obstruction of right-of-way.
Okay. And the numbering characters are on the front of the house. It's not on the. Like
they're on the front of the house, but some numbers are missing, and that they're small. So I asked for them to put up the numbering standards.
Okay. And you talked about the sod that she's going to get for the landscaped areas.
It's the area where the unpaved parking was going on mostly, and that basically just ruined the yard. So it's on the, what would that be? That would be the west side of the driveway, and that's the area that she's already cleaned out and waiting to obtain the money to buy the grass.
And are you still seeing that unpaved parking by
it's still going
one
on.
vehicle or more than one vehicle?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And can you just describe briefly what you're seeing with outdoor storage?
Outdoor storage was quite a bit of accumulation there on the driveway. And when I went by yesterday to take a couple of pictures, it was just a few items still out. But for the most part, all of the rest of it is gone. I think that black thing that's on the side of the wall there in the carport is still there. I don't know what it is, but it's still there.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
All right, those documents are all part of the record with the posting and the certified mail. The city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property has complied with 18106I regarding trash and debris, 34102C regarding inoperative vehicles. I wasn't clear. Is 34102A in violation still, or is that complied?
No, that's complied.
That's complied
Yes, sir.
also. And then 7434A1H regarding trash can in public view.
Yes, sir.
The other violations cited in the notice remain outstanding. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Number 26626 South Magonia Circle, CE 220900178.
Officer Luster, West Palm Code. This property cert mail was returned to us on 9/26/2022. Property and City Hall was posted on 10/19/2022. I spoke to the owner on 10/19/2022, and the property was cited for vehicle obstructing public right-of-way, landscaping, and unpaved parking. She is wanting to add on to her driveway so she can stop the unpaved parking, and she asked for 60 more days to do so. She has already cleared the yard facade, so the 60 days should cover her installing a new side.
Okay.
So I'm asking for that. 60 days, $100 per day.
Thank you. Officer Luster, does your file reflect an executed affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Does that affidavit reflect that the notice of violation was also sent by regular first-class mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photographs that we've been reviewing, do they truthfully and accurately depict and represent the alleged violations that you've observed on the property?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you just describe a little bit more about a vehicle parked on the public right-of-way?
What, it's a constant, see the speed hump sign? So that means it's a speed hump right there in front of that home. And most days they have that speed hump blocked because they're parking on top of the speed hump. If you don't read that sign and know that there's a speed hump coming, you will not see it. So they've been asked to stop blocking a public, what you want to call, traffic indicator, which they're in the process of getting that done too. So when they get the driveway, they'll be able to park the cars on the property.
And you've observed that to occur multiple times, is that accurate?
Oh, yes, multiple.
Thank
Yes,
you.
ma'am.
Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, and photographs.
Okay, those documents are made part of the record. Based on the posting and the certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. I will find, based on the evidence, that property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 60 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you. Y'all have a great day.
Number 272421 Village Boulevard, 404 CE 220800202.
Good morning once again, Officer Levine, City of West Palm Beach Code. This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Service was accomplished by posting the property and City Hall on 10/4/2022. There is an active application in the system. Notification was also sent to the property owner on 9/1/2022 of the application being processed. I've had contact with the property owner on 10/12/2022, and I also had contact with the property owner this morning who was experiencing some medical problems. So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Levine, is there an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the notice of violation sent by regular and certified mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you indicate, I apologize, I missed it, that there is an active application in the filed?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And I believe there was a photo of posting. Is that an accurate photograph of posting of this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, application, and correspondence.
All right, those documents are part of the record. City has proper notice with the posting and certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 28, 2561 Village Boulevard, 305 CE 220800204.
This property too was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Service was accomplished by posting at the property in City Hall on 10/4/2022. There is an active application in the system. And like the previous case, I've had contact with the property owner on 10/12/2022, and as of this morning, there is an active application on file without any inspections, and there is notification to the property owner about the application being processed. So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance with $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Levine, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Was the notice of violation sent by certified and regular mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photograph that is in the file, is that an accurate photograph of the posting of the property?
Yes.
And Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, application, and any written communication.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. With the posting and the certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Allow 30 days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
I'm sorry, what matter are we on?
29.
Are we 28? The next one's 29?
Next one.
All right, so 3507 Village Boulevard, 205 CE 220800205.
This property too was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Property in City Hall was posted on 10/4/2022. There is an active application in the system for a rental license without any inspections. Contact with the property owner was made on 10/12/2022 and also as of this morning. And again, the property owner is experiencing some medical problems. The city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Levine, excuse me, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the notice of violation sent by certified and regular mail?
Yes, ma'am.
And the photograph, does that truthfully represent the posting of the property of this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the entire case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, application, and all communication, written communication.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. The city has proper notice with the posting and the certified mail, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. I will allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 30, 2721 Village Boulevard, 103 CE 220800206.
This property was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Property in City Hall was posted on 10/4/2022. This particular property, I don't know how this happened, but there's not an active application in the system, even though I've sent the application to the owner. One of the previous properties, they have application in the system, so I don't know what went wrong here. However, the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Levine, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the notice of violation sent by certified and regular mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photograph in the file, does that accurately represent the posting on this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you had communication with the property owner on this particular property?
Yes.
And does he object or in any way indicate that it is not rented?
No. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and all written communication.
Thank you. Those documents are part of the record. With the posting and the certified mail, the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Next case, number 31, 2461 Village Boulevard, 303 CE 22080207.
This property too was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Property and City Hall was posted on 10/4/2022. There is an active application in the system. Contact was made with the property owner on 10/12, and as of this morning, the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Levine, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
Was the notice of violation sent by certified and regular mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photograph, is that a truthful and accurate depiction of the posting of the property of this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
And thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, application, and all written communication.
All right, those documents are made part of the record. The city has proper notice with the posting and the certified mail. Based on the testimony and the evidence, property remains in violation as cited. I'll allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 34, 2761 Village Boulevard, 102 CE 22090186.
This property too was cited for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. Both the property and City Hall was posted on 10/4/2022. Contact was made with the property owner on 10/12/2022, and as of this morning, there is an active application in the system for a rental license without any inspections. So the city is requesting 30 days to come into compliance or $200 a day thereafter.
Thank you. Officer Levine, is there an executed affidavit of posting in your file?
Yes, ma'am.
And was the notice of violation sent by certified and regular mail?
Yes, ma'am.
The photograph that exists, is that an accurate photograph of the posting at this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
But thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, application, and all written correspondence.
All right, those documents are made part of the record with the posting and certified mail. The city has proper notice, even though a respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited. Allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
Sir.
Number 35 is complied, 212 Porter Place, CE 2210047. Number 36 is rescheduled, 1507 39th Street, CE 2210050. Number 37 is complied, 1642 44th Street, CE 2210069. Number 38 is rescheduled, 1533 44th Street, CE 2210075. Number 39 is rescheduled, 1675 40th Street, CE 2210078. Number 40 is rescheduled, 429 North Ware Drive, CE 221006160. Number 41 is complied, 215 Huron Place, CE 221006164. And 42 is rescheduled, 218 Lyman Place, CE 221000235. Number 43, 6201 62nd Way, CE 220900174.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On September 19th, the property at 6201 62nd Way was cited for rental license violation and certificate of use. The property as well as City Hall was posted. Affidavit is connected in the case. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent September 20th. Certified mail was returned October 3rd. I did come across this property being advertised for rent. I have no contact with the property owner. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. You mentioned that your file has an affidavit. Is that an affidavit of posting?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And the photograph in the file, is that an accurate with respect to posting at this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
And what is your testimony regarding that this is rented?
I did attach a photograph of the alleged property being advertised for rent.
Okay, and is that a up-to-date contemporaneous printout?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And where did you find that particular advertisement?
Zillow, I believe.
Okay, thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, the internet advertisement, and written communication.
Those documents are all part of the record. With the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation. As cited, I'll allow 30 additional days to comply. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 44, 7407 74th Way, CE 2209076.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On September 19th, the property at 7407 74th Way was cited for rental license violation and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted on October 19th. Affidavit of posting is attached to the case notes. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent September 20th. Certified mail was returned September 29th. On September 19th, I found that the property is being advertised on Zillow for rent. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you very much, Officer McFarland. Is the photograph of posting, is that an accurate photograph of the posting at this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there any rental application on file?
No, ma'am.
Have you had any contact with the owner?
Unfortunately, no.
Okay. Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, and written communication. And the advertisement, sorry.
And what?
And the advertisement.
Oh. Okay, those documents are made part of the record. With the returned certified mail and the posting, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find the property remains in violation as cited. Allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 45 is complied, 1749 Village Boulevard, 107 CE 2209081. Number 46, 3520 Whitehall Drive, 405 CE 22090227.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On September 19th, the property at 3520 Whitehall Drive, Unit 405, was cited for a rental license violation and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted October 19th. Affidavit of posting is attached in case notes. On September 23rd, the certified mail and regular mail was sent. On September 30th, certified mail did come back returned. On September 19th, I did find the advertisement for rental on Zillow. I sent out notice, have not made contact with the property owner, and still no application found in our system as of this morning. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. The photograph in the file, is that an accurate photograph of the posting at this particular property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, the advertisement, and all written communication.
Thank you. Those documents are made part of the record. With the posting following the return of certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the evidence, we'll find the property remains in violation as cited, allow 30 additional days to comply. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 47 is complied, 3114 45th Street, number 2, CE 220902253. Number 48, 3114 45th Street, number 3, CE 220902255.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On September 23rd, the business Modern Detailing, located at 3114 45th Street, Unit 3, what was cited for business tax violation, certificate of use, and portable signage. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted October 2nd. I did also leave a copy of the notice with the property management on site. Excuse me. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent September 26th. Certified mail was received September 28th. The business has come into compliance with the prohibited portable signage. So the only violation that remain is the business tax receipt and certificate of use. As of this morning, I found no application in our system. I did want to also testify to that the property management on site is well aware of their tenants requiring a business tax receipt to operate from that location. I did cite 2 businesses at the time, and one has come into compliance, and this one just has not taken any initiative to get this done. So with that being said, city's recommending 30 days to come into compliance, or a one-time fine of $250 for the business tax receipt, and $100 a day for the certificate of use.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. I may have missed it. There's an executed affidavit of posted in the file, correct?
Yes, ma'am, and I also left a copy of the notice with the property management on site.
Thank you. And the photographs that we've reviewed, do those accurately represent the posting at the property for this particular case?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. And I think we saw a blank business tax receipt application. Is that something that you provided to them to fill out?
Yes, ma'am. They're well aware. I did deal with this property last year. I left an application with the property management to give to any new tenants that come in. And I also do mail one off as well.
Thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, and written documents and correspondence and communication.
Those documents are made part of the record with the posting and hand delivery and the received certified mail. The city has proper notice in this case. I will find the property remains in violation of city code, was it 82 or 32? 82-144. I drew a line.
Yes, 82,
Couldn't
yes.
tell if it was an 8 or a 3. 82-144 and 2232A, but has complied with 94-402B.2-5. For the violation of 82-144, I'll allow 30 days to comply. After that, a one-time fine of $250 is assessed. For the violation of 2232A, I'll allow 30 days to comply. After that, daily fines of $100 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 49 is complied. 714 Executive Center Drive, 38 CE 22090333. Number 50 910 Omar Road, CE 22090344.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On September 19th, I found that the property at 910 Omar Road was being advertised for rent. I then cited the property for rental license violation, certificate of use. The property was posted as well as City Hall on October 21st. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent September 30th. Certified mail was received October 3rd. The property owner has since submitted an application for a rental license and certificate of use. Unfortunately, it did fail inspection. I did make contact with the property owner, and he did request more time to have the property pass the inspection. With that being said, city is recommending 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you, Officer McFarland. Again, I apologize, I probably missed it.
Aye.
You have an executed affidavit of posting in the file?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And the photographs that we've been reviewing, those are from the failed inspection, is that accurate?
Yes. It's
Okay.
it's in a separate folder.
Okay. And I believe there was a photograph of posting. Is that an accurate photograph of posting for this particular property?
Yes, that's what was being advertised for the property to be rented.
And that advertisement from Zillow that we just saw, that's a contemporaneous printout?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And thank you very much. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photographs, application, written communication or correspondence, and the online advertisement.
Those documents are made part of the record. With the received certified mail, the city has proper notice. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I will find the property remains in violation as cited, allow 30 additional days to comply. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Number 51 2117 Tigers Drive, CE 22090346.
Good morning, City of West Palm Beach Code Compliance Officer Paul McFarland. On September 27th, I found that 2117 Tigers Drive was being advertised for rent on Zillow. I then cited the property for a rental license violation and certificate of use. The property, as well as City Hall, was posted October 12th. Affidavit of posting is attached to my case notes. Certified mail as well as regular mail was sent September 30th. Certified mail was returned October 8th. I have no correspondence with the property owner. With that being said, city's recommending 30 days to bring the property into compliance, or $200 a day until compliance is achieved.
Thank you very much, Officer McFarland. The photograph, is that an accurate photograph of the posting at this property?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you. The Zillow ad that you spoke of, is that a contemporaneous printout?
Yes, ma'am.
And is there any application in the system for a rental application or for rental license?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Special Magistrate, the city would like to submit it as evidence a copy of the case file, including but not limited to the notice of violation, affidavit of posting, certified mailing documents, photograph, the Zillow ad, and a copy of the written communication or correspondence.
All right, those documents are made part of the record. With the posting following the return certified mail, the city has proper notice, even though the respondent is not present. Based on the testimony and the evidence, I find property remains in violation as cited. Allow 30 additional days for compliance. After that, daily fines of $200 per day are assessed until compliance is achieved.
Thank you.
All right, I think that concludes the 9 o'clock agenda. We will go off the record till 11:30. We'll reconvene for the reduction hearing matters.
it's freezing, man.
Okay, are we ready? Let's go back on the record. It's 11:30. This is the City of West Palm Beach Code Enforcement reduction hearing agenda. Again, my name is Keith Davis. I'm the Special Magistrate appointed by the city to preside over these matters. If you're going to be speaking to me about any of the items on our agenda, it looks like we have 6 agenda items and a couple of those may be grouped together. I do need your testimony to be under oath, so if you're going to be testifying, please stand, raise your right hand, and I'll swear everybody in together. Each of you swear or affirm under penalties of perjury that your testimony today will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. Thank you. You can all have a seat. When your case is called, please come up to the podium to my right. I'll get some background information from the city on the property, and then I will have you make your presentation on the request for the reduction. And in all likelihood, I will enter an order today that resolves the matter. So let's go ahead and get started.
First cases number 2 and 3 for 731 51st Street, CE 190700301 and CE 200900086.
Good morning. Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach.
Good morning.
Case CE 190700301 was cited on July 16, 2019 for excessive overgrowth, landscape maintenance, junk abandoned vehicles, fence and wall maintenance, and outdoor storage. The property was taken to hearing on August 7, 2019. The property was given 30 days, $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property failed to comply with the magistrate's order and was out of compliance for 51 days, resulting in a lien amount of $5,100. Case CE 2009086 was cited September 9, 2020 for repeat irreparable violations, prohibited vehicles, and outdoor storage. The property was taken to hearing on October 21, 2020. The property was given 20 days or $100 a day to achieve compliance for Code Section 94487B1 and an immediate fine of $100 starting from August 7, 2020 to October 18, 2021. The property complied with Code Section 94487B1 but was out of compliance for 437 days for the repeat violation for 9471C, resulting in a lien amount of $43,700. Special Magistrate, the city and the owner's representative were able to come into a settlement of $7,000. CE 190700301 reduced to $1,000 and CE 200900086 to $6,000 and a time frame of 180 days to submit payment.
All right, and did you say this was?
Yeah, it was already settled.
You guys worked it out?
We worked it out.
Love that.
Yes, we did.
I don't know if she got how I broke it down.
Okay, if you want to go ahead and.
Guy Quattlebaum, attorney for the owner, and I agree with what you just said.
Nothing else you need to add to that?
Nothing to add. We've settled it.
All right, I
yesterday.
certainly have no objection to that, and I will enter that order that reduces the lien in the 2019 case to $1,000 and the 2020 case to $6,000, payable how long?
180 days.
180 days, so ordered. Very good. Thanks, guys. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Here's a copy of the order.
Thank you.
Okay, number 13511 Washington Road, CE 2107061.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 2107061 was cited on July 14, 2021 for landscape maintenance, trash can and public view, landscaping of the swales and parkways, and outdoor storage. The property was taken to hearing on August 4, 2021. The magistrate gave an additional 30 days, $100 a day to achieve compliance. The property failed to comply with the magistrate's order and was out of compliance for 80 days, resulting in a lien amount of $8,000. The applicant was the owner at the time of the violation. The city is seeking 25%.
You said same owner? Okay.
I think I might have given you the wrong form. Does yours say Georgia?
Okay, yes, sir. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the request.
Your Honor, my name is Besalel Belolo. I am a good friend of Mr. Petit Guillaume, and I help him whatever he needs some help here. I'm living in Boca Raton, Florida, 7012 San Sebastian Circle, Boca Raton.
Okay. Is there a agent authorization? Does the city have any objection? Just want to make sure.
He sent it over in an email, and he brought the original copy as well.
Okay, very good. Then go ahead, sir.
The situation that happened that Mr. Petit Guillaume have a tenant that was protected by COVID law at the time and didn't pay the rent and asked to correct those violations. He doesn't have any problem with the city with other property, and TID was able to evict him, cost the owner $19,000, but he took care right away and tried to do his best to correct the violation that was on the property. It was out of his hand to manage to do it as quick as possible, and he asked your honor if can work with fine reduction because of the time, the COVID, the tenant that didn't pay, and it was unfortunately that it took a little bit more time, that he will do it right away if it was in his hand.
All right. City's recommendation is that the fine be reduced from $8,000 to $2,000. What's your position on that request?
We'll accept it, whatever your owner, we are okay with.
Okay.
We'll pay whatever.
All right, thank you, sir. Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
All right, then based on the testimony that I have heard and the circumstances, I will accept the city's recommendation in this case, reduce the lien of $8,000 down to $2,000. Do you know how much time he needs to pay that?
Yes, maybe 30 days, 60 days.
Let's put 60 days in the order. That make sure there's plenty of time.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cases 4 and 5 is the same owner, different units. So number 4, 1401 Village Boulevard, 517 CE 191-00239. And number 5, 1401 Village Boulevard, Unit 2327, CE 191-00240.
Good morning.
Morning. Go ahead.
Cassandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach. Case CE 191-00239 was cited on October 16, 2019 for failure to obtain a rental license and COU. On February 5, 2020, the magistrate ordered 30 days or $200 a day until compliance is achieved. The property was out of compliance for 790 days, resulting in a lien amount of $159,400. The applicant caused a violation. The city is seeking 25%. Case CE 191-00240 was cited on October 16, 2019 for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. On February 5, 2020, the magistrate ordered 30 days or $200 a day until compliance is achieved. Property was out of compliance for 790 days as well, resulting in a lien amount of $159,400. Applicant is the cause of the violation. City is seeking 25% as well.
Was your recommendation 25%? Thank you. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the request.
Good morning, Your Honor. Attorney Kathy Reno Lopez, representing the owner. It's a company, a Florida Limited Liability. The name is Vidask Ladrillo LLC. The owner and manager, he's a citizen of Argentina. He has never lived in the state of Florida, and he has those two investment properties, and he hired a company, a management company that is located in Brickell, AW Property Management, to manage his property. But however, they never got the license to rent the property, and my client never received a notice. Although there's a property address in the county that it was the one that the city used to inform my client, and they posted a notice on the front door. My client never received a notification. Actually, the mailing that was sent to New York was returned to the city as undeliverable. As soon as my client he knew about this violation, he paid it off, and he was able to know about this violation because he was in a contract for the sale of the property, and in the title search that violation came up, and he paid it immediately. My client knows that, of course, if there's a rental a fee that he has to pay to rent the property, he's aware that he has to pay those fines, but he's just asking this government to please reduce the lien, and he will be able to close the property as he has intended in the sale.
Okay. The city's recommending that each of the liens is $159,400. The city's recommending that they each be reduced down to $39,850. What is your client's position on that request?
First of all, it will be a hardship on him. First of all, he will not have the money to pay that fine, and he will lose the escrow amount that is already placed on the contract. So it will be a hardship for my client. I'm sorry.
Okay. Anything else from the city?
No, that's it, sir.
All right. These are, and this was the same owner, yes.
Same owner, same fine.
All right. So we have a couple of rental properties. The owner is not around and hired a management company that, according to the testimony, did not obtain the appropriate rental license and certificate of use in both cases. Each of the liens is $159,400. I will reduce each of them to $12,000. So that's total of $24,000, but $12,000 for each. How long will he need to pay that?
Your Honor, my client is from Argentina, and the value.
I understand that,
So-
and I appreciate that. But when you choose to own, at the end of the day, it's the property owner's responsibility, and so if that's how you want to operate, that's fine, but it doesn't excuse following the rules. I'm not reducing the number. I will give up to 12 months to pay it, but I'm not going to reduce the number below that.
12 months? That would be
So
perfect,
ordered.
Your Honor. At
Okay.
least he will have time to pay that.
All right. Put 12 months for both.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
I have the orders here. Thank you.
Number 6, 780 South Sapadilla, 114 CE 200801224.
Sandra St. Hilaire, Code Enforcement with the City of West Palm Beach, case CE 200801224, was cited on August 11, 2020 for failure to obtain a rental license and certificate of use. The property was taken to hearing on November 4, 2020. The property was given 30 days or $200 a day to achieve compliance. The property failed to comply with the magistrate order and was out of compliance for 674 days, resulting in a lien amount of $67,400. The applicant is the cause of the violation. Special magistrate, we understand that there are some extenuating circumstances as it relates to this case. Due to that, the city is only seeking 10% in this case.
How much?
10%.
10?
Yes.
Yes, sir. Good morning. Go ahead and tell me your name and address, and then you can tell me about the request.
Jeffrey Thomas, 780 South Sapodilla, number 114, West Palm Beach.
Yes, sir.
I never received notice of this. I've got 5 notices. 3 of them are marked return to sender. So the very same proof that the city uses to say it was delivered or I was notified is also my proof that I never got the message or I never got the material because it was returned to sender. The 4th one was hung on my door. I was a traveling tennis pro and coach, and I travel all over the country, and I never saw this. I never received it. It's also true that our hallways are open, and the wind just whips right through there. So I'm gone for months at a time. I have 6 great-grandchildren, and they all come down and visit whenever they know I'm gone. They love to come down and visit, but I never saw this. The 5th one was delivered to the office, and it says COVID-19 signed by somebody. The office was closed for that long stretch, and I never received that one either. I went to the office, and I obtained a copy of my records, and my last tenant was Steve Narkowitz, was in 2017, and he checked out. On this page, the office person was entering some updates because they took over a new HOA, and you can see that everything was updated on August 13th and 16th of 2021. So, but that's not when Steve Narkowitz left, and I have his text to me, May 12th, 2017, 8:30 a.m. Hello, Jeff. I was going to reach out to you today regarding the final invoice and where we are with the deposit. I look forward to see what the final figures are. For your information, the toilet is running a lot more than previously. It is as loud as the water fountain in the City Park, I think he meant City Place, courtyard, because that's the name of the condominiums. You may want to get a plumber on it pronto. I will unfortunately be leaving 114 early Monday morning. Thank you, Steve. So that was the last tenant, and that's what it says on this record from the courtyards. And I never was told that I was in violation because I never got any of this material. And the thing started on August 11th of 2020 or 19?
Yes, 2020.
I'm sorry?
Yes, the property was cited on August 11, 2020.
Okay. So it was never rented after Steve Narkowitz was there in 2017. So there's no, I wasn't apprised of the hearing, so I don't know what to say about what was used to say it was rented. There was a note somewhere in this paperwork that says somebody in the office said it was rented.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Officer Kevin Levine, the business tax officer, did make a notation that on October 20, 2020, he verified with the front desk that that the unit is still being rented.
So the address that notice was sent in these cases, was it to the address on file with the tax collector?
Yes, sir. And as he stated, it was even posted on the door, but as stated here, Officer Levine was under the impression that the property was rented because he did reach out to the front desk as well, and that's what he was told.
So it's not actually, you never actually rented the property?
No, and I talked to Sharon Broussard, the lady that runs the office, and I said, could I see the last rental? And she printed this out, and I said, there's nobody after that. I said, there's no lease, there's no anything. And then I don't know who would have just happenstance said, oh, that property's rented. I mean, my family's there all the time. This is a first floor poolside. They love it when I travel. I mean, I've got some medical issues now, and I'm not able to really play or coach or anything. But I mean, there's no record of anything, and I don't know what was presented or told to whoever went out there to do it. And I don't even have something like that starts. Is it like you have code enforcement people that just go into offices, or I mean, I don't understand. It just I mean, I didn't rent it. There's no lease. There's no nothing. I don't know what to say. I found out because I'm on Social Security, and all of a sudden I found I found a lymph node under my armpit, and 3 months ago I found out I have a bunch of different melanomas, and I can't afford the treatment. The little bag that they have me on every 3 weeks is very expensive. So I was doing a refinance because I didn't have a mortgage on the property. I've owned it since '05, but the refinance got stopped because there was this lien for $60-some thousand on my property that I didn't know anything about. So I couldn't get the refi. This Keytruda stuff that Merck makes is like $22,000 a bag. It's a little 100 milliliter bag that they put in my body every 3 weeks. I just started on it. It's a 1-year program. They charge my health insurance $10,000. They charge me every 3 weeks. My copay is $2,816. So that's why I wrote my response, talked to the people. The people at the code enforcement across the hall were very, very nice, and I explained everything to them, and they said it would take 90 days to get a hearing and all this kind of stuff, but they got the hearing a lot quicker than that, which is wonderful to me. But I just don't think I should be fined at all.
Okay, so that I understand, your testimony is that because your work requires you to travel, you were not home, so you did not get notice of the case. You never rented the property, you just weren't home because you were traveling for work.
Right, but there was a note pasted.
No, I understand.
Taped to my door, but I never got it. I mean,
So I will. The way the law works for notice, it requires the city to send the notice to the address that the tax collector has in their files.
Mm-hmm.
And the city can also post the notice on the property, which is, based on what I'm hearing, that's exactly what happened. So the city did what it was required to do by law to provide notice.
Well, I didn't get any of the ones that were made.
Right. So you weren't home because you were traveling for work.
Right. So
you never got actual notice.
No.
So the hearing happened. You weren't here. An order was entered. Fast forward to, you said you were doing a refinance and this lien shows up that you had didn't know about.
Yeah.
All right. But your testimony is that you've never rented the property, it's never been a rental property.
Oh, no, I did rent it in 2017 to Steve Narkowitz.
So there was a period of time when it was rented?
Yeah.
Okay. And what was that period of time?
Let me try to...
Because this code enforcement case was in 2020, so was the property being rented at that time?
No. It was Steve left. I checked my text, and he left on Monday morning, which I don't know what it was. I didn't look up the date, but the date of the text was May 12th, 2017.
Okay. So probably what happened is that there was a rental license, it wasn't renewed, and the city...
No, he never applied for a rental license.
Yeah, I don't recall ever...
applied for one in the system, and like I said, he had a renter but no rental license, and like, even though it was cited in 2020, Officer Levine, this is what he does, he goes and verify with the front desk, like, is there someone still in this unit? Is it being rented out? And this was like 2 months after the notice was written, and they said, yes, someone is in the unit.
So the violation, it sounds like, and you know, it's really not appropriate for me to retry the case at a lien reduction hearing. That's not what these hearings are about. So it sounds like there was a violation found, and there, based on what I'm hearing today, the property was rented at some point, but never was there a rental license to do that.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Sir,
Go ahead.
I don't find that reasonable and true, because it wasn't rented after Steve Narkowitz, according to their very own records.
Well, you just told me that you did rent it.
I rented it in 2017.
Right.
Did. And I don't recall ever having a license. I certainly would have gotten one had I known that I needed something.
Okay.
I mean, I don't know what it costs to have a license, but it can't be that much.
Okay.
And I certainly wouldn't let these daily fines of one paper said 100, one paper said 200, and then all of a sudden, you know, this guy that's doing my mortgage, and I'm just like, I'm shocked that, you know, I don't get the mortgage, and this copay is it's killing me as bad as the melanoma is, and I just don't think that I should be fined for something that I did in 2017, which I obviously didn't have a license because I don't remember ever filling out anything for that. But to have this gigantic amount of money be charged against me, I don't think that's reasonable or fair.
Okay. I understand. Anything else from the city?
No, sir.
Anything else, final comments that you want to make, sir?
I can't think of anything.
Okay. So we currently have a $67,400 lien on this. I have heard the city's presentation. I've heard the applicant's presentation. The city's recommendation is that the lien be reduced to $6,740. Based on everything that I've heard, I'm going to reduce it to $1,000, and I'll give you time to pay that. How much time do you need?
Well, my Social Security is $1,600 a month.
I'll give you up to 12 months to pay it.
Well, see, I object to the fact that I get a fine at all.
I understand you object, and I'm sure the city objects to how low I'm reducing it. So everybody objects, and usually when nobody's happy with what I do, I go to bed at night feeling like I probably did pretty close to the right thing. So put 12 months on the order, $1,000.
So what is my recourse?
Pardon me?
What is my recourse? Because I don't think that the city should take $1,000 from me because they haven't.
I will tell you this, if it's not paid within the period of time that I have ordered, it will revert back to the full amount. You may have appellate rights if you want to seek legal counsel on that, but it's not appropriate for me to give you legal advice.
So I would have to appeal this ruling in court?
if there are appellate mechanisms available, you again are free to pursue that. Again, I'm not your attorney. I can't give you legal advice.
Right. So you think it's reasonable and fair?
I've entered my order, sir. I don't enter orders that I think are unreasonable and unfair.
Sir, here's a
So,
copy.
thank you.
Well, sir, I wasn't through my sentence, much less my entire thought process. I just find it shocking that the courtyard office has in writing that there was no tenant. It has a list of names, and Steve Narkowitz.
Sir,
yeah.
I gave you every opportunity. I asked you 3 times, is there anything else you'd like to tell me? You finally said nothing else to tell me. I entered my order. I'm not going to rehear this. We're done. If
So
you
it
feel
means
like
that-
you feel like the reduction from 67,000 to 1,000 is unfair and unreasonable, then you are free to do whatever the law allows you to do to challenge that. I have entered my order, and unless there's any other business that the city has this morning, we are adjourned.